Have you ever dreamt about living in a castle? Ever since I was a kid, I have been deeply fascinated with these magical and wonderful buildings. The arched windows, the large halls, and the majestic spires. Unfortunately, I have never been able to afford my own castle. So now, I have decided to build one out of the most affordable material there is: cardboard. But of course, building a beautiful castle takes time. So I have made a series of 3 episodes showing in detail how you can build your own cardboard castle. Let me tell you what you learn in this video series. You will build the castle. 1, 2, 3, magic! You will design the interior exactly how you want it to be. You will paint and decorate the castle to look like a fairy tale. You will make the princess, the prince, and all the magical creatures that lives in the castle. All you need to build a castle is 3 cardboard boxes, a bit of extra cardboard taken from other boxes, both white and brown, 8 toilet rolls, a knife and some glue. We start by gluing the flaps together on the boxes and stacking the boxes on top of each other. And here I have one that is already finished and glued. Next, we make all the building blocks that we need before we put them all together into one castle. We start with the little towers. And we start with cutting strips of white cardboard, 3 cm. Now this strip is gonna be like this. We measure here 7 millimeters, draw a line. The zigzags are 1 cm, so I have to make the marks cut straight out like this. You go to the top again and you cut right across. You leave one, you start with the next. There. Very simple. Then you take the toilet roll, you fold this one a bit, soften it up, put it around the toilet roll, and then you make a mark there. Make a little cut. Oh, perfect fit. I bring in a small piece of cardboard, draw around it twice, and cut it out. Like that. So these are the 4 pieces that we need to put together the tower. First, we glue. Very simple. You dip the toilet roll slightly into the glue and pop it on. Then we dip the other side and pop it on. And now this needs to dry. Nice and dry, then we can trim the edge a little bit, the edges, a little bit of sanding. Okay, we need some glue. Stick it on and make sure that it sticks up quite a bit up here. Put on a bit of tape. Beautiful. And then you need to make 8 of these. And then we make the big towers. Making a cardboard cube is very simple. You need a strip of cardboard that has the height that you want for your tower. Then you need a bottle or a jar. Then roll it on. And as you roll it on, you fold the cardboard. Then you make a mark with your pencil, like this. Make a cut. Gluing time. So we put a bit of glue on the edge, fold it around, keep some bits of tapes ready, put on tape the whole way, make sure you get a nice tight fit. And while it's drying, take another little bit of cardboard, draw it twice and cut it out. That's the top and the bottom. Right, now this needs to dry. Nice and dry. Then we can just push out the jar, add some glue, pop on the lid. You may want to add a little bit of tape as well to make sure that it stays in shape while it's drying. And then the other side. Pop it on, add some tape, and then when it is dry, it'll look like this. You may need to trim the edges a little bit, sand it a bit, and they are ready. And you will need 2 of these, plus a shorter one for the top tower. Next, we need to cut 2 types of cardboard strips. A thin one and a thicker one, because we are going to make this. So these are going to be untouched. You're not going to do anything more to them. These ones, on the other hand, we need to do the same as with the other white strips, only these are bigger. So they are 1.5 deep, and each gap is also 1.5 cm. You make a straight cut and then one across. Yay! Cool! Until the whole thing is like this. So you take in the tower. This one goes on first. Soften it first. Make a mark and cut. Then we glue it on and make sure that it's flush with the top. Put on a little bit of tape, and then you wait a short little while this is drying. Next we bring in this bit and soften it up as usual. Take off the tape, of course. Try it on. Make a mark. Make a cut. Beautiful. Now, so when we glue it on this time, we don't glue it flushed with the other one. We glue it a bit above it. So 1, 2, 3, like that. I make sure I put glue only at the top here, not down here, because this is going to be visible. Stick it on. Putting on the tape and dry. Yay, finished. And this one I put on a white top. And next we make the 2 small houses that are in between the main building and the big towers. I have found here a perfect little box that I can cut in half and get these 2 little houses. So I take this box, I glue it a bit here, then I divide it in half and cut. There. But now you see that these flaps are a bit loose, so I need to add a little bit of glue. Stick them together, put on a little bit of tape to hold them together, and when they're dry, they're like this, ready to use. Now we need to make the defense walls that are in between the towers and on top of each floor. And it's very simple. I just cut strips out of extra thick cardboard, such as this, and this one is just the same as we used for the towers. Next, we got the doors and the windows. Each floor gets its own door, big, medium, small, plus 1 small door for each tower. First, we draw the doors on a sheet of cardboard, and the biggest door has an extra frame. We start by drawing a center line, 20 cm tall and 11 cm wide. And as you can see, it starts to taper off into a point here. So we make a mark here and here. Make sure that's equal. And then we round off each side. The thickness of the frame is 1.5. On the bottom, it's a bit less, only 1 cm. And on top, it's a bit more, 2.5. Then we repeat the whole thing right next to it. But on this side, I add an extra decorative line. 4 mm on this side, 4 mm on top. And we draw the line with a marker. Then we cut it all out. When it comes to the door, we need to pay attention. First, we open the door by cutting in the middle down to the threshold. We cut right across down here. Then we cut this bit down to here and a little bit around the corner, but not too much. The other side, same thing. A little bit around the corner, not too much. Now, let's do a door opening test. We then need a ruler. We need to pick up the door carefully. Press down with the ruler and press the door up against the ruler. Yeah. Then we get a nice clean hinge on this side. Same on the other side. Gorgeous. Then we cut out the door frame. Okay, let's pop it out and see if it fits. Yeah, nice. Look at this. We got a door. Let's glue it on. Then you make one smaller one and an even smaller one and then two tiny ones. Only these are simpler because they don't have the extra frame. They're just cut out of one sheet of cardboard. And now let's have a look at the windows. And here are the windows that we are going to make. They have the same shape but different size. Now here's a smart way to do it. I make templates such as these. I have now just drawn and cut out two different size window. Then I measure the thickness of the frame. It's 5 millimeters for the big one and 4 millimeters for the small one. And then we cut it out, pop it out, and there we have the small frame and the big frame. Then we take in a sheet of cardboard and we trace up as many windows as we need. Same thing with the small window. Then we make the mountains that divide the window into little window shapes. And for that we use a sheet of thick paper. Two types of strips. One a little bit thicker and one a bit thinner. And then we cut. Starting with the big one on this side and one on that side. And then the diagonal lines. I'm cutting a few first, then adding some glue and sticking on the mountain. The windows go all over the castle and make it look magical. And then, my friends, we can make the spires. And the spires are really important because they really make the castle look like a castle. A spire is really just a cone. All I need is this pizza slice. 1 cm big slices and 15 of them. And the length is 19.5 cm. So I take a piece of cardboard, I put it here, and now this becomes my template. So I trace off the pizza slice, I mark the lines, and then I draw the lines. So now I cut this out. Then I use my ruler and I press down, I burnish a little track right where the pencil line goes. And later this helps me to get the folding right. Use the ruler to get a perfect fold. There, finished. Now we can mold it into a nice cone, adding some glue to the edge. And then I got my tape ready, making it tight fit and taping it up all the way. Taping it to the very end. There. When it's dry and we remove the tape, you got a beautiful cone like this. And for the small spire cone, I use this template. Okay, we got our main building structure and all the different parts. Now we need to glue everything together. this tower goes on this corner. Shall we then glue first and then cut the holes for the windows and doors? Or shall we cut the holes for the windows and doors and then glue it afterwards? I'd say we cut the holes first, because it's generally easier to cut when the part is loose. But you need to know where the holes go. So if I put the tower here, make a mark for the height, then we can see that it's really good with a window here and on the side here, and the door could go on this corner. Another thing I would recommend is to cut the holes for the doors and the windows too, because it is generally easier to do that before we add all the parts. But we cannot follow this line for the cut. We need to make a little margin for the gluing. The same thing with the window. I think I'll position it right there. I draw the line around it. Then I draw all the other holes. All right, let's cut them out. And it's the same thing with the towers on the side. Door here, window, and a window on the little house in between. Cut out the holes. Woo! Ha! Anything else? Oh yeah, we need to cut a little piece of each corner so that we can move the towers in a notch. Yeah, good. And finally, we are ready to glue. And we start with the small towers. Quite a lot of glue because cardboard absorbs the glue really well. So be generous. Make sure the door fits. Beautiful. And then the top tower. Nice. And then the side towers. First, glue the little house. Then I put glue on the side of the house and stick it on to the wall of the castle. And the other one there. In between the towers, we'll put on the zigzag shapes that you'll find on almost all castles and fortresses. And we'll start by adding these thick strips of cardboard to build the walls out a bit. Put some glue and stick it on. Then the next layer. Now, when I put it on a little bit above the other one. And next, I want to add some extra small towers on top of the big towers. That will make the castle look extra grand and impressive. There. And up here too, on these two corners. And then we glue on the small spires. And finally, the big spire right on top. And then we can stick on the doors. We start with the small doors first. Perfect. Then the door on top and the door in the middle, the big door in front. And finally, we add on the windows. And notice the huge difference that it makes to the castle, because beautiful windows really makes a castle look like a castle. Oh, finished. It's beautiful, it's magical, and it's ready to play. But if we want to play inside, we need to open it up. First, I draw the openings. Then I cut them out. Wow, nice room. Wow. Oh, great. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm ready to move in. If you want to see more, in my next video I'm gonna decorate the interior. Whoa, check it out. Fit for a princess. So keep watching, subscribe, and ring the bell.